So hopefully you can see these paths here. It's a little hard to see these 4 paths. And we're going to follow what the question says. What is the sorted order of the 4 paths from shortest to longest? So we'll start with the shortest. Let's see if we can find the shortest path. And it's pretty easy because we eliminate it down to 2 options, path P and path R. And we know that's not path S and path Q because they're taking a lot of slanted routes, and which is longer than just straight routes up and down. And right here as well, it's obvious these slanted paths are obviously longer than these regular these slanted paths are obviously longer than these regular straight lines, because if we create a triangle over here, right triangle over here, we can obviously see this is the hypotenuse, and if x and y, x being the straight line and y being another straight line, they only add up to x squared plus y squared is equal to h squared. So the hypotenuse is the longest side of this triangle. Okay, so as you see here, now let's try to find which one's shorter, path R or path P. So we can start at the same point down here, right before the semicircle begins, and then we go up straight line. That's the same for both paths. And one, as you can see here, when we cross into this semicircle, one of them is straight and one of them is curved. Now, which one's shorter, a curved path or straight path? And that's obviously a straight path is obviously quicker, because if you think about it, it's the same case as a triangle. Which one would you take? X plus Y or Z? You would obviously take Z, because if you're trying to go in the fastest way possible, you'd probably take the fastest way to the fastest, most direct way to the destination. So, yeah. And in the case of a semicircle, if we compare the radius or diameter to the circumference of this semicircle, then we can obviously see that it's longer. See, if R is 2, we know that the diameter or the straight line is 4. So because there's 2R. And if we're trying to find the circumference, then we know that it's pi r, because it's half of a regular circle, which is 2 pi r. So it means we divide by 2, which is pi r. So if the radius is 2, then it's 2 pi. And how much is pi? 3.14. There's no competition, and 6.28 is obviously is obviously larger than 4, which is the straight line. So we know that straight lines are the fastest possible way, if you're on a path. So if you're on a path, make sure to take straight lines, not slanted lines or curved lines, because they're obviously slower. Okay, so we know that this path R has has a lot of straight lines compared to path P, which is just curved lines around the entire ice ring. So we know that path R is the shortest, there's the most amount of straight lines. Path P is second, and path S is third. And the reason why path S is third is because path S is not taking as many slanted routes as the other as path Q. This path Q has multiple slanted routes. As you see, we can prove once again that slanted routes are slower with a simple triangle figure. So X, Y, and Z. the property of a triangle is that x plus y has to be larger, not equal to, larger than z. So the straight line is less distance than both of the other lines, than both of the sides. So a little bit of geometry mix here, and yep. So path R, then path P, then path S, and lastly path Q. So the answer is